Hey guys, it's Vera Wylde and I am back again with more tips for beginning cross-dressers, and today we're going to talk about false nails, which means I'll be showing you how to go from this to this and all the steps that I went through to give myself these lovely, pretty, long, sparkly nails that you see right here. So let's get right to it. So here we go with the basics that we're going to start with, starting of course with the false nails. Now these are acrylic. You can find a number of different materials and a number of different styles. You can find press-ons. I find the press-ons pop off a little too easily, and you have to be a little bit too delicate with them. They do have a certain advantage, which I'll talk about a little later. But I do personally recommend these. Now you'll notice there's quite a few sizes here. This is a little bit bigger than many of the sets of false nails that you'll find in a drugstore. The reason you're going to want this is because it covers a wider range of sizes, and as men, we tend to have larger fingers, which means oftentimes when you go to a drugstore, they'll only sort of have this lower half, these smaller ones, and you won't have things that go up into this sort of bigger size, which you really kind of need to really get things like the thumb. And you'll want to get a sense of what size works for what one. So you're basically going to take it and press it. Oh, you'll notice that on any given nail, there's one side that is sort of more curved and another side that's a bit flatter. The flatter side is the one that's pointing out. That's the end of the nail. The curved side is meant to properly shape and adhere to the natural shape of your nail. So in my case, I do need the largest size for my thumb, which will probably be the case for most of you as well. Now I have just a basic simple glue that I'm going to be applying directly onto my nail and then pressing this on, and I only need to press it on for about 10-15 seconds. I'll press it a little longer for safety, but it doesn't take that much once you properly apply the glue, which I will show you now. It's actually a little bit trickier because I'm doing it now with the hand that already has nails on it, which does make things a little more difficult, but here we go. See if we can get in there. And I'm going to get it on. I'm going to spread it around the nail fairly evenly. I don't need a thick coat of it, but I do want to be sure that it's covering pretty much all of the nail to some extent. You can kind of see it catching the light. Now I don't want to wait too long before I get the false nail pressed onto it. And I'm going to be pressing this down quite hard. I'm actually going to give that a really good squeeze there, and I'm going to hold it while I'm waiting for this glue to dry. Now I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but you can sort of see, I'm looking at it directly, where the glue is, where the nail is pressing down firmly and where it's not. There'll sort of be lighter colored bubbles where if it's not really catching the glue. You want to try and have as few bubbles as possible, and that's, you know, as you're holding it down so that the glue is adhering as uniformly as it possibly can be. And there it is. So that's the first one, and I'm going to go ahead and take care of the rest of these. Now, you may have noticed I actually changed what size I was going to get. You don't want to get something too big and you don't want to get something too small. So go ahead and just go through the nails a few times before you find the one that really fits as perfectly as it can. Okay, so there we go. All the nails are now on, although as you can probably notice, they are a little bit longer than the ones that I showed you earlier. So I am actually going to have to clip these down. And I mean, if you want something that long, you can certainly go for that. For me, I don't like them quite this long, so I am going to trim them down. And you can just use standard nail clippers for that. Some people will trim them down before applying them. I do it after. As long as you're using a very good glue, you can do it after with no issues. And I just find it personally easier to shape a nail that's already applied. So these are all pretty much dry, but I'm going to start with the first one that I applied, so that the ones at the end have a little more time to be sure that they're dry. So you'll notice it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty much the same as you would clip your normal nails. So. And now I've got them trimmed to the same length as the nails you saw before, and now it's just a matter of painting them. And I do really recommend painting them because even though they don't look horribly unnatural, if you look closely you can kind of see you know, the glue, the little bubbles I talked about before where the glue isn't quite fully applied. So that is a giveaway that you are wearing false nails. So if you are going to put on nails, I do recommend painting them, which is what I will do next. And so this is the nail polish that I used on my other nails, and I am going to use on the nails you just saw me apply. So really any polish will do just fine, just whatever you feel like using. It's not going to be as involved as applying nail polish onto your natural nails, which I haven't actually done a video on yet, but I will be, and that's a little more involved if you're going to do that fully properly. In the case of this, you really can skip doing a base coat. There's no need for it. So you can just go right into applying the polish. And you can still do a top coat if you want, if you're worried about chipping the polish, but other than that, just apply 2 coats and you should be good. And there we go. I now have matching, nice, long, sparkly nails. I am going to have to wait for the nail polish to dry a little bit on this. The nail polish does take quite a bit longer to dry than the nail glue, so you will have to sort of move delicately for a little bit once you've applied that. Unlike the nails, which pretty much once you've got them pressed on and they stay there. I am going to say a couple of quick words about taking them off again. Because that is a problem for many of us because, you know, we'll slap these on a weekend for fun, but then we have to have them off come Monday going back to work. And I know that's the case for me. For me, generally what I do is that I'll just sort of get a bowl of acetone-based nail polish. You need to be sure that it is acetone because most of the ones that you'll find now are non-acetone. It does have to have the acetone in it, and basically just sort of dunk my hands in it, a bit like I'm getting a manicure, and wait for that to loosen up the glue until I can pop them off again. You do really want to remove them. If you haven't painted them, I've known some girls will just cut them down until they sort of match the actual length of their natural nail, but then as it grows you're going to see where the false one is and where your real nail is, so I don't recommend that, and because I've known a couple of girls to do it that way. So I think that pretty much takes care of this one, so have fun. Once you get these on, they are a little bit of work and a bit of work to take off as well, but they are a lot of fun, and they feel just very pretty, very girly. So hope that was helpful to you all. So until next time.